Not you.
I know. All right.
Welcome back, folks.
Welcome back to episode 46 of the Hispanic on Paper podcast. My name is Marcos.
My name is Chris.
And also... Yeah.
Nice.
Jared.
Very nice.
He's here.
Yeah.
Welcome, folks. You know what's funny is that 30, like until about, there was about 30% of that intro remaining, and I forgot about the camera. So like you gave a thumbs up or something like that, and I was like, oh, whoops.
Oh, there's video now.
Yeah. But welcome back, folks. Episode 46 of the Hispanic on Paper podcast. If you're looking for a Hispanic Latin empowerment podcast about what it's like to, be Latino, this is not that podcast. We're just 2.5 dummies who tell stories, and I guess that's it.
Yeah.
We don't really do anything. Sorry.
But what an intro.
Yeah. So go ahead and introduce our lovely guests, sir.
All right. Actually, I will let Jared introduce himself.
Yeah.
What
do you do?
I am a real estate guy.
Love it.
Yeah. I own an appraisal company. I'm a real estate broker. That's about it, actually. Yeah.
In short, that guy.
Adult stuff.
Yeah. I know it's very, very boring.
We're
adult
us.
stuff, actually.
You're you.
Yeah.
But he's him.
How do I even know you
him.
guys? How am I here?
Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. So the reason
I'm walking down the street, and all of a sudden,
so Jared was sign spinning. Everything he just said was a lie. He's a sign spinner, and we're gonna have him on. But no, yeah. I've actually known you for like 8 years.
You know what? I've actually known you since you were a little tyke.
Yeah, basically. Yeah,
a little tyke. Yeah.
I think I was still in the 4s in terms of my height. But yeah, so today, folks, here's what we got a little bit of a silly one that's going to be. It's going to seem silly, but it's actually going to be very intellectual. We're going to talk about real estate. We're going to talk about money stuff. Will you turn that down? I totally forgot about that. I'm so sorry.
Got you.
But yeah, we're going to have a little bit more of a. I don't want to say like intellectual or intelligent. I guess I do mean relevant.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Like semi-intelligent.
There we go. That's it. Not that we would know, but no, we definitely are going to have. We're not smart people, but Jared is. But yeah. So yeah, welcome, folks. Let me start with what we usually start with, which is Marcos. How was your week?
My week was pretty good. Today is my dad's birthday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, turned 48.
48?
Yeah. Also, it's also Henry's. It's also Henry's birthday. My dog.
What,
your
6?
dad's 48?
My dad's 48. Yeah, he was born in 74.
Shit.
My dad's 42.
I'm older.
Yeah.
In my mind, I think I look younger than you guys.
Yeah, we're 3 21-year-olds, by the way. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah, it's been a hard life for me.
I'd like to say that youth is more of a lifestyle, not like the physical appearance.
Yeah,
It's how you live your life.
Yeah, that's easy to say when you're young.
That's true.
That's
true.
I'm with that.
That's true.
Well, wholeheartedly. Happy birthday, Papa Luzardo.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, goat.
Yeah.
The goat.
But yeah, that's exciting. Jared, how's your week?
It's pretty good, actually. Yeah. I mean, we're only on, Tuesday right now?
What the hell?
I know.
Tell me yesterday was the longest Monday ever.
It was pretty long.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Today's October 4th.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Aiden Pace.
Aiden Pace, too.
Happy birthday, episode 42. So I'm so sorry about happy birthday, Aiden. Love you, buddy. Sorry, I totally forgot your birthday. Or not your birthday, your episode.
Also another gentleman that Jared possibly have known since he was a tyke as well.
You remember Aiden?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
22.
I got to put it through the perspective of Tim.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I know the name. I have horrible faces.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. But yeah.
That's interesting.
Oh yeah,
Normally
it's the opposite.
reverse. Yeah.
Actually, generally it is, but when it comes to Tim World, for some reason, only because I've only seen most of his friends other than you guys, once or twice, and it's usually when you get to my house late in the evening, on a Friday or Saturday, and I'm extremely tired.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's it though. Only tired.
I think that's one thing about parenting that.
What the hell is that?
No. I think that would be one thing about parenting that I always is like a common phenomenon on like social media or just people. Yeah, what in the world?
It's sorry,
substantially
the outside
darker.
lighting just turned off horny.
You know what? I kind of like the lighting better now. Actually,
Do you?
I like better when it's dark.
Takes the red off my face.
It felt brunch, but now it feels like horny. Like
what?
You've never
That's a time of the day.
Yeah.
Well, you've never seen that tweet where it's like, "I love when a restaurant turns the lights from brunch to horny." It's like, it just turns down so much. I do.
Okay.
We look red as hell. Yeah. Whatever. But yeah. I mean, I'm glad you had a nice week.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
I mean, so far.
Tell me about your weekend.
Well, last week I went over to LA for the Taylor Hawkins tribute, Foo Fighters.
Rest
you
in
guys
peace.
are a fan, one of the greatest drummers of all time.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Freaking fantastic. Just a whole bunch of like classic rock heroes, but then they threw in like a few of like surprises, like Miley Cyrus came in.
Oh,
sang a
interesting.
song.
That's cool.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like Kesha.
Was it a good song? Oh,
Kesha came in and sang a song. And then probably the craziest
it probably
thing,
was not TikTok.
You know what? It was not. She sang, shit, what did she sing? I don't remember. It was something.
Probably one of her more recent songs.
Yeah, her top fell off and she acted like it was an accident, so that was kind of funny. Literally, she's like, "Oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing." And it's like, really, you planned that. You could not have planned it more.
Some guy off to the side of the stage is holding a string.
Yeah.
Like
I'm pretty sure I saw
vacuum.
like a fishing pole.
Yeah.
It was absolutely
Or a really strong vacuum.
ridiculous. And then, but the weirdest thing was like Dave Chappelle came out and sang "Creep" by Radiohead.
Wait, that you were there for that?
I was there.
I did see that
Yeah,
video.
yeah, I was there. Yeah.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying.
Which
How
was cool
his
as shit.
vocal?
Everybody was. They were bad. I mean, he's not a singer, but he's Dave Chappelle. So,
Yeah,
I mean, he came out.
Yeah.
And we were at a Foo Fighters concert, and I think he was like one of 3 non-white middle-aged people.
Yeah.
in the
Absolutely.
audience.
Yeah,
So it was
definitely
kinda,
not his
it was-
demographic.
But the
Wow.
guy's a stud. Everybody was super happy.
Yeah.
and,
That's cool.
And I, you know what? He had some big balls because to sing that entire song when you're not a singer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He sang the whole song.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was pretty cool.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, I'm a big concert guy. I like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
No
That is
kidding.
really cool. And that's one thing that I feel like I don't do enough of is like live events.
Do as
Yeah.
many as you can.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I regret not going to some of the ones. Like Tim went to one last year, and it was $26 for a ticket. And
Oh, geez, you got to do that.
it was such a
Yeah.
small one. He got the artist's signature on a drumstick. It's hung up right there.
Seriously.
Just because it was so small.
Yeah.
There was only like 450 people there.
You know Sophia, my daughter
Yeah,
Sophia. So
absolutely.
she's 16. She's
Shout
gotten
out.
totally into the concert scene.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
she's
that's
going
cool.
to tons of them. She was very excited the other day. So when I got back, Taylor Hawkins' son is Shane Hawkins.
Mhm.
You've seen the video. I told
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. video of him
real
playing the
quick,
drums.
So if you guys haven't seen this, the drummer who passed away, at the original tribute thing, the lights coming back. So they called out for Hero, which is arguably one of
My
the
hero, one of the iconic.
Yeah,
That-
maybe not their
yeah.
biggest, but one of the
Next to
biggest songs.
Everlong, probably.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So My Hero, and then they called out the late drummer's son,
Who's 15.
15
Yeah.
years old, and
Yeah.
big head of big drummer hair. But yeah, he killed it, bro.
Killed it.
Fucking
Took out
killed
every-
it.
No, this
everything on
wasn't
those
just
drums.
like, oh, let's see how the little guy does. He
Yeah.
freaking
No, it wasn't
killed
like
it.
yeah, it
People
wasn't
did,
like a
people
drummer boy.
stitched together videos of like his dad playing.
Yeah,
with
side by
him.
side.
Yeah, side
yeah,
by side.
I know,
They did
man.
that.
That's where I get to be a sap because
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm
Oh,
sitting there, I'm
no,
like,
I teared up. I teared up.
Yeah,
no,
I watched it
I
on
was
YouTube and I
watching
teared
that,
up.
yeah.
No, but absolutely, we're just like, and you hit the
it's okay. Take a minute.
you hit the nail right on the head.
Nice enunciation.
There we
Okay.
So yeah, you hit the nail right on the head with the fuck. I forgot my point. You hit the nail right on the head with the. Oh yeah, it wasn't just like it wasn't like a t-ball game where like you bring out the 3-year-old.
No, the guy
it's a cute
could.
thing.
If he was like not 15, he could
Exactly.
probably step
Yeah.
in and be the main guy.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely, yeah. So it's not like drummer boy like bum bum.
I'll have inside because he's probably going to end up being my son-in-law.
Yeah.
So Sophie's like, Dad, I followed him, and I'm like, and she's like, and he followed me back,
Did
and
you
I'm like, well, talk to him.
No, that's
Called.
that's dude. Do you realize how big of a deal?
Oh my
that
god!
is?
Well, we looked at it. We looked
Jared
at his
was calling the
Instagram,
shot.
and he has like I don't know, 65,000.
Yeah,
followers.
that's
and he only follows back like 100 and something.
Yeah,
you
that's-
know, I'm like, honey, I approve
time
of
is
this
now.
relationship. I absolutely. If you guys
As a-
break up, let me meet all of them first.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Let me do the.
I'm
the
totally
fatherly
self-serving.
thing.
I admit it, but my gosh, that's amazing.
The
Dave Grohl's like my Jesus, so I mean that's important to me.
a kid that I used to know, he had dinner at the lead singer of Megadeth's house.
No
Dave
way.
Lester. He was out of town, but he had dinner with the mom and the daughter and everything
What
like
the
that
hell?
with them.
Why?
Yeah.
Just because he's dating the daughter?
I think it might have been something going on, but like as a parent, like
Yeah.
as far as relationships go, you cannot approve more potentially of something like
Absolutely not.
You
No.
just look at the lineage and you just know like
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
a
some
winning.
some little punk off the street, and I'm like, I've got my shotgun out.
yeah.
But I'm like, remember Foo Fighters?
might be non-lethal.
You know, there's a connection to
I have the
freaking
rubber
Nirvana
bullets,
there.
yeah.
Like, I'm sure he's a good kid.
Yeah, I have the rubber bullets. I likely won't need them.
He looks like a kind soul.
Dude, that's
Absolutely.
That's actually insane because, like, my dad supports mine and Summer Rae's relationship. Like,
Are you familiar with Miss Summer Rae?
No, I was gonna say like this
That's-
is where I'm
that's-
old.
that's
Like I
Summer
don't
Rae.
know.
There
Gosh,
is
she looks
a-
like a nice young lady. Yeah.
Yes.
Summer Rae. What is she?
she's like 22, 23.
Is that a real name? Even
Is she
is she
really
really
Summer
Summer
Yeah,
Rae?
I think she's like 24.
Really?
Yeah. Summer Rae age. The issue though is that her name is spelled with an O, which I hate.
That's gay.
That is the wrong one.
But not like
No,
say
What's the
one I looked up said 38, but that's
no, she's like 20s, like 26.
Summer Rae, she's 26. Gosh, she's 5'7". That's perfect. Whoa, what was that? Sky did a little like what?
Our technical crew is.
I love that. That's hilarious. But yeah.
All right, cool.
Usually, so I asked you guys how your week was, so I'll just leave that open.
How was your week?
Oh, hey, it's actually a pretty good week. Yeah? It was a great week. Yeah,
that's great.
Nothing special about it whatsoever, but it was a good week.
And with that, Chris yields the remainder of his time.
Yeah.
Anyways,
not that anyone cares. I know no one cares. I know no one cares about my week.
We care.
Did you go to more gas stations? Did you watch more fights happen?
Nope, nothing weird. You should have do last.
Did you see a gas station fight?
No. I'll tell it quickly because I told the whole story last week. But so yeah, there was a kid trying to buy scratchers, and this old, super old Indian guy with a really, really thick Indian accent. So like, we couldn't really understand him.
Okay.
Old white guy behind me starts screaming at him, and I don't like the old guy because he's giving the young kid a bunch of attitude, and then pandemonium, and all I needed was gas. I was just there for gas. 25 on one.
You didn't want any drama.
I just needed 25 on one. So he's like, hold on. You don't talk to me that way. You stop. Lower your voice. You hold on. I'm talking to these two guys. I'm like, no, fuck you, dude. I need 25 on one. I was like, I am the current clientele, good sir. Yeah. But yeah, it was a pandemonium. But I on this podcast, we're on episode 46, and I've probably told 9 tales about just absurdities occurring at gas stations.
Some of the most interesting things you'll experience.
Yeah, I complimented a dude's hair one time, and he when I was walking out back to my car.
Well, he probably thought you were being a smartass.
Maybe, absolutely, but it was like really cool braided. It was like a Samoan guy.
Yeah,
it was like braided into. It was badass. If he would have taken that as a slight, then he's insecure as shit. But it was really cool hair. But yeah, I mean, so we have a couple of this is something that I realized this weekend. So I did this last week. I forgot to talk about it on the podcast. You ever been to a good cigar lounge?
I'm not a smoker, but there's one up there on what is it, like Williamsfield by Santan. It's called Fox Cigar Bar.
That's cool.
They're open till 2 a.m. We have friends that go there. We hear about it all the time.
Gotcha.
Legit, I don't even know if I've ever walked in the place. But
really,
that's the only place I can think of when I hear it is the Fox Cigar Bar.
So I guarantee you the place that I found is a younger version of that, with it being the Puro Cigar Lounge.
Oh, okay.
And bro, it's open till 2 a.m.
So you like cigars?
I do like cigars. I don't know if I've ever said that on the podcast.
That's Chris's vice.
I like cigars. It's really weird. Yeah. I've never tried a cigarette. I hate vapes.
Vapes are stupid.
I don't do drugs, so like right.
Yeah.
So I don't really do any drugs. So like the only vice I have is like a good cigar.
Well, there's way worse things you could be.
Yeah,
into.
That's what
absolutely.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
And it's and the thing about it too is Chris practices moderation very heavily. Like he's not a binge like
one every 10 days. I average out.
Oh, I thought you were being sarcastic.
No, literally.
I'm looking at the 50 bottles of alcohol that are empty, and I'm like, oh shit, yeah, he's
tattletale.
He's like
what time span is that over? Since you guys have moved
18 months.
18 months.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's not bad.
That's
but
not bad.
Over groups of like 10 to 12 people sometimes.
Oh,
in
absolutely.
No, it's nothing. Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
no.
All right.
If we weren't cool as shit, that would be like.
You guys are like Quakers. That's nothing.
Yeah, I'm not mad about it.
All right. I won't judge. It's cool.
Thank you. But so I instead of doing like a cigar every night like a lot of guys do, I do one and I average it out every like 9-10 days.
Yeah, and really enjoy it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
So I take one of those little goofy TVs, I put it against the glass on the window.
Okay.
So for those who are on audio, the TV I put on our balcony, I put it against the window so I can see inside, and I put on my headphones plug it into my PlayStation controller, and I watch TV, have a
Smoke your cigar
for like 2 hours. It's nice.
Yeah. Nice. Do you have like a favorite brand?
No. So I'm still learning. I found
okay.
I found this. I'm still trying them out. I found one Hawaiian Breeze.
I only know a little because my best buddy is a cigar guy.
Oh, okay.
So once in a while, if I'm generous, I'll buy him a cigar. So
Gotcha.
I know he likes like a Macanudo,
Romeo
and Julieta.
Those are primo shit. I'm not there.
Oh, okay.
I'm not there. I'm on the black and milds in terms of.
Well,
no,
they come in a 6-pack.
Yeah, come in a 6-pack for like $2.
No, it's about
get that and some Boone's Farm wine, and you're a.
Ew.
It's a fine evening.
Yeah, just rain gutter beer.
I don't even think they have Boone's Farm.
No, that's not. I know the joke.
You know what it is.
I know the joke.
Yeah, because that's from my high school years.
Yeah,
I've tried to find it. You can't find it. Yeah. Huh. Just to be sarcastic, I thought it'd be funny.
When did you go to high school?
When?
When did you graduate?
Jeez, 1990.
Oh,
Okay.
That's not even. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of old.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm 50. Yeah.
Well, congrats. Half century on this earth is pretty impressive.
It sucks. Okay, no, here's the thing. It doesn't suck. It's It's better than the alternative, but
which means
getting old freaking sucks, dude.
No, absolutely.
My back hurts today for no reason.
So that was, you know, the pen pals at home know that I'm a pretty good. I know my way around a back. You know, chiropractor.
I always feel like there's an ulterior motive. I'm not going to take up on that. I'm just not going to do it, man.
For me,
the price is too high.
Yeah, there's no way. Is the red light on?
The price is too high.
Red light's good. All right, so hit start.
Cool.
So, Jared.
Yeah.
Speaking of age and longevity on this earth, do you have any fun tips and tricks?
What do you mean?
You're a very young spirited guy.
Thank you.
Yeah,
So
no,
that's what
I
I'm
can
saying,
genuinely say like I have my dad's best friend. He always comes up to me like at parties or anything like that they're going on. He's like, "Don't you think we're like fucking idiots?"
Yeah.
Like
Shout
he's
out-
like just look at us. We're like fucking old shit.
Shout out
hanging
to the boy Steve.
And I was like, no. I was like, I want you to be very clear on this. Like, I want it to be very clear when I say this to you.
Yeah.
I love that one, you guys still have friends. I mean, growing old is just a natural part of life.
Absolutely.
You shouldn't stop having fun.
No.
Like,
well, I mean, I think it's gotten easier in this day and age. Like when I was a kid, when I was in high school, like my parents, and I don't think I'm just being naive. I think I've talked to multiple people of, all ages and they all agree. They didn't have like the social influences we have now. They didn't have the internet. They didn't have a lot of those things.
Yeah.
So I look back at it, and when I was in high school and my parents were like 50, they were old.
Yeah.
I mean, like legit old.
Yeah.
Like they had no concept of fashion, of
Interesting.
music.
Huh.
They sat home every Friday and Saturday night, and they were great people. I'm not ripping on them, but they didn't have really much in the way of friends.
Yeah.
And I would come in and I'd be listening to music and, wearing whatever was the fashion of the time.
Yeah.
And they could not comprehend what was going on. I think that my generation, we've grown up having access to all that stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So I think it's made us kind of want to stay younger and more relevant. Like, I mean, I listen to the same music as my 16-year-old daughter I mentioned, or all my kids.
That's cool. Interesting.
We introduce music to each other. I go to
cool.
concerts.
That's
I
fun.
like that stuff. I try to have some sort of a sense of not looking like an old dude. I mean, at this point, I'm just clinging to like the semblance of youth, like the last little branch.
Well, we've talked
and it's
about
about to break, but I don't want to give up yet.
We talked about this like 3 years ago, where you have badass hair. You have amazing hair.
That's gonna be a funny thing we talk about later because it's rapidly thinning.
You think so?
I'm fucking pissed off about it. Because it's all I got, man. Everything underneath there is a big old mess. But my hair has always been good, and now you should talk to Sue. You should interview Sue.
Yeah.
Oh, I got all sorts of potions and shit I'm doing. Like, it's like a constant battle.
I will think that you will need to share the formula with Chris and or I later because...
Oh, you're going to lose your hair.
Yeah, eventually.
I can already tell both of you.
What
I mean,
the fuck?
It's going to happen. I mean, it's already...
I
it's
have
already
hair just like you.
I don't want to make you guys weird, but it's retreating. You're probably going to be more like 30-ish.
Okay.
It's going to be a losing battle.
I think that's as long as it's here. I hope that this grows out.
See, here's the real bitch about it. You get
About
it
the beard.
everywhere except the top of your head.
Well, here's the thing.
Everywhere.
I have it nowhere else.
Well, you will. Dude, I got hair growing out of freaking everywhere. Like it's a constant battle.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 right now.
Well, maybe not you.
Marcos is counting chest hair.
See, in the dense jungles of the Amazon where my people hail, we learned that hair slows you down.
Really?
You're more
You
likely
want to be more aerodynamic.
Yeah, you're more likely to get caught by a jaguar running through the forest.
You got to be slick to slide through the mud.
Whatever gets you through the day, man.
One thing, a funny story that Tim told me a while ago was when he was working at TC's.
Buckle up.
There would always be these guys who would just compliment Tim and just be like, "Man, I love your hair. I had hair just like you." Those would be the baldest men on this planet constantly. And Tim is like, dude, stop saying that to me. Like,
don't say that shit, dude.
It's gonna jinx the whole thing.
Yeah, dude. Why would you say that?
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
I love that. But so kind of on the vibe of what I was trying to ask is, do you have any like tips and tricks to stay young and or like live to 100, like something like
first of all, I'm not going to live to 100.
Why not?
I told Sue that also. And she's like, you 100?
you don't want to? Do you not want to be 100?
Only if they can figure out a way to replace your skin. Because here's the thing.
Okay.
Plastic surgery has got a lot of shit figured out.
Yeah, absolutely.
They can do a lot. But the tell-all, they can't your skin, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you see these people in Hollywood that have, like, they pull their face back and do all
Yeah.
this stuff. But at the end of the day, they've got, like, the turkey neck. And and it's just like, you know what? Until they figure that out, then again, at this point in my life, it's starting to creep up on me.
Yeah.
Because I want to be around. I do.
Yeah.
But it's, you want that quality of life.
You want to see your kids have kids?
Yeah, you want to see all that stuff. And you know what? And technology is advancing so quickly now that I have a lot of questions that need answering.
So, scientists believe that the first person to live to 125 has already been born.
I would agree with that,
Yeah.
actually. I mean, it's
that's
exponentially advancing very, very quickly. Look at 100 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, we were like basically in a cave rubbing two sticks together. Right?
No, well, 200 years ago, the life expectancy was like 38.
Yeah. Well, because you're going to die of something quick. I mean, if you get an
absolutely.
infection, you're dead.
Tuberculosis.
Yeah, I mean,
Or
you're
cholera.
you're
Stepped on by
I
an
mean,
ox.
so the advancement, and we were here for thousands of years before that.
Yeah.
With very little advancement. So I mean, it's very, very quickly evolving, but. I'm hoping I'm just kind of catching the tail end of like the right part of it to where it's going to advance
Catching
before
the upturn.
Yeah, with my luck, I'll be like 80.
Maybe it'll be you.
Like, maybe.
That's good. Like I would say, like 80 for me is like that's a good life.
That's
you
enough.
can get
Yeah.
a lot of shit. You can get a lot of shit done
Yeah.
and see a lot of stuff.
I
Like,
agree. My parents both
my-
passed away in their 80s, and they had pretty good long lives.
Yeah.
And at that point, they were kind of ready.
That's good.
I mean, they were
Okay.
That's
they-
I
they
know
were
it's
good
messed
to
up.
Accepting
Just-
mortality is something that I haven't ever come
I mean, it
across
still
yet.
sucked when I had to put them down,
Yeah.
but they were ready.
Oof, that's a scary thought.
See, yeah, like
Good Lord.
Nobody even said I didn't put them down. I was just kidding.
No,
I do,
yeah,
but there was a conversation.
no. Jeez, Chris takes things a little
like,
literally.
wait a minute.
Yeah.
he thought it was an alley oop off the backboard, but neither
No,
of us
nothing.
dunked
Nothing.
it.
He goes,
No. So,
Because there are people that I know that have like had to like
no, you
pull
do.
the plug and
But
put
you
him
don't.
down.
You do. You actually a lot of times you have that
Yeah.
point where they're like, "What do you want to do?"
Yeah.
It's tough. You know?
one thing that like I think a lot of people like our age, or at least like people when they hit their 20s, you're gonna start seeing your parents get older, and I feel like that's not something anybody ever briefs you on
Absolutely
about
not,
growing
yeah.
up. Is seeing your
Yeah.
parents get older, like handing my dad the phone and him going, like
Oh,
zooming
no,
out,
no,
like
no,
and
no,
doing
no,
that.
yeah,
I was
that's-
like, man, or like hearing about some sort of like injury. You're like, oh shit, like
Meanwhile,
that's it.
they're not my
Meanwhile, your
young
dads are
20-year-old
younger than
dad.
me.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
So, all right,
it's like
this is just gonna get let's just change the subject.
An age measuring contest.
like someone I'm very close to, her mom broke her leg just taking out the trash, a little slip, little fall, landed, not even awkward, just landed, broke her femur.
Oh, that's the
she-
strongest
is
bone
she
in your
dead
body.
now?
No, she's fine now.
Okay,
but
because
she-
like when you get
100
into
years
like your
ago.
70s and 80s,
Yeah.
even, like nowadays,
52.
I mean, a sprained ankle
She
can
was-
kill you.
Yeah,
Like,
no
you have
kidding,
no
yeah.
idea. I
she
mean,
was
it's crazy.
She was 52 when that happened. 52 years old, broke her femur.
That's depressing.
Yeah, so hear about that, like or one of my kind of Skippy here who slept awkwardly, and it's like
Yeah, now I'm in pain. Yeah.
I fell asleep on my I fell asleep, and I guess the way that I rolled over, my ring finger was numb all day.
all day.
And I was like, it was like all day.
You
It was
had-
like it was
you
no, it
blocked
was
an
my entire
artery.
shift. It was like 8 hours.
Yeah,
and I was like, I had to have fallen like I fell asleep like a Family Guy character falls. I was like,
yeah, bro, you blocked an artery or something. That's mad funny.
man. One thing I was thinking about is what's one thing I don't know. What's one thing that you fear particularly about getting old? Like what's something, or what's like a lesson about mortality that like you accepted? Have you come to terms like with like the fact of this, like there's going to be a day where it's all over?
Absolutely. I mean, you have to.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing I think you fear, like, is you really become more aware of like mental capacity over physical capacity.
Keeping your mind sharp.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, everybody's physical capacity is going to go down.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you see those
Yeah.
things of like the 70-year-old that's
Arnold.
ripped, and it's all kind of it's like bullshit. I mean, they're like physical anomalies. It's for
Yeah.
most of us,
Yeah.
we're going to decline. That's just
I mean,
the way
that's
it is.
shredded people in general.
But what is scary is to ever think of like, I never thought in my 20s or 30s of like, dementia or any of that stuff.
That's when it starts to
Yeah.
show too.
And that's what kind of scares you. I'm
Yeah.
like, losing your mind is probably the scariest thing I honestly that I can think of.
My grandmother
you
does
know?
a Sudoku a day, a Sudoku and a crossword a day.
My great grandma, she square dances, and
Yeah.
she walks like 45 miles a week.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's good.
She's 83,
I mean,
and like, and she told me that same thing. She's like, Marcos, if there's one thing like really that I want you to take away from growing up or just even, getting older is keep your mind sharp, because it's the people who are sitting watching TV every day that fall into just get sucked into
absolutely
boredom and not doing things that keep your mind sharp or learning new things like that. That's what keeps you young.
It's so true. So my mother, rest her soul, she was a great woman, but she was very much kind of that sedentary person that just watched a lot of TV, didn't keep herself occupied. Whereas my dad, up until the day he died, he was always busy, just doing stuff, and he remained sharp, and frankly had a better last 20 years of his life than my mom. And I think it's because he was busy.
Just busy, yeah.
He did stuff, So that's the one thing I fear. I don't have any of that in my family, like knock on wood.
Yeah.
But still, like, your intellect is everything.
Yeah.
And mine is so vast.
Yeah.
So I'm totally kidding. It's very mediocre, but that's what I fear.
Speaking of physical maintenance, watch as I don't strain my shoulder as I pat myself on the back, just because my intellect is just an ocean of knowledge.
Well, I figured this was a Mensa meeting. Is actually the only reason I showed up. So
what
that's
the fuck is a Mensa meeting?
Well, you don't know then. You're obviously not in it.
The girls who get it, no.
So for you folks at home, for those of you who suffer from dementia,
do you suffer from Alzheimer's? Do you suffer? There's a show. There's a Rick and Morty bit.
You like Rick and Morty?
No.
Okay. Seen it?
Because I'm an adult.
Gotcha.
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
My dad.
I'm more of a Family Guy.
He's like, I don't watch. He's like, I don't watch cartoons.
I actually look. I love Family Guy.
Interesting.
I used to love The Simpsons.
Really?
Family Guy I find hilarious.
I hate Family Guy.
Probably the plumber.
Yeah, plumber's here. Quick, not even timeout. Just now, I guess for the. Oh yeah, no, I hate Family Guy, and the reason why I hate Family Guy is because I think it's a whole episode. It's like 22 minutes of nonsense for like 4 or 5 jokes. Where it's like the whole episode isn't funny. I don't walk away from a Family Guy episode and I was like, wow, that was funny. I'm a huge Seth MacFarlane fan. I think me too. Absolutely.
The guy's brilliant.
Great singer, great writer.
And when I say I'm a huge fan, I don't like have posters or anything.
So you're not a huge fan?
I think it's funny.
Those are contradictory statements.
Let's just leave it there.
As he's like kicking away like a shrine. He's like,
the only shrine I have in my house is for the Foo Fighters, as you know.
Yep.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Damn. You know how many times I sidestepped that rug? Like I've straight up collapsed on the floor one time dodging that rug.
The rug's gone.
Why?
Well, the wife overruled me on that one. She didn't like it. So.
Kings.
I remodeled the whole bar since you guys have been there. I think.
Really?
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
It's a little classier now.
Yeah.
I think I wanted
a bigger screen. I wanted a better sound system. So
I got in, not like arguments, but we've had conversations about little shit like that, like cigars and stuff like that. Like she doesn't like me smoking cigars and things like that. So
you have to make compromises.
Exactly. So Kings, make compromises for your girls, but if she starts wanting you to make too many compromises.
Understand the difference between changing and compromise.
Too? Thank you. Be the reason that she hates a zodiac sign.
Zodiacs.
You're good.
You don't believe in that nonsense, do you?
Come across.
No, they're generalizations.
But yeah, no. So that's something like something that with Twitter. Do you use Twitter?
A little bit.
The best quotes on the face of the human earth are on Twitter. Just that, there's no question about it. The best things on this earth are found on Twitter.
Chris believes that the most intellectual people reside on Twitter, and also the modern day philosophers, when really they're just keyboard warriors.
I don't know about all that, but what I will say.
Well.
What are the two that we really liked? One of them was you really know you start to love a girl when you start using condoms with other women.
That's sweet.
What's the other one? What's the other one?
That's cute.
You got it. Oh, sorry, Jared. Hang out for 1 second.
No, it's all right. It's all right.
I don't know if I.
Here's the thing. I used to do like all that a lot, but I would like to go in and just kind of stir the pot, and then I'd get in these crazy fights.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what am I doing? Because nobody ever changes their opinion.
No.
I mean, half the time I wasn't even that really passionate about it. I just like to irritate people.
Absolutely.
I'd go on like super religious sites and just stir shit up, and it would always, and then I have people praying for my soul, which annoys me.
I can feel that.
That's hard.
Yeah. I mean, those people are hardcore.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Hardcore.
One of my best friends on this earth he's the most religious person he's a a man who practices great faith.
I know who you're talking about. Actually.
Exactly,
a crusader.
Okay,
and I want to have him on, not to roast him or anything like that, but like the
We
Bible.
just want to understand
The
why.
Bible says you're going to hell if you're short. Like it says that, doesn't it?
It
Like,
says a lot crazier things.
no,
than that.
well, absolutely, but like like shit like that, where you're like, but well, that's
See,
the
that's
old,
what I would do is I'd go find great quotes, especially like from the Old Testament.
Absolutely,
And they just their minds blow up.
Yeah.
Because like if offends the covenant, like stuff.
Everything's good. Nothing's gone.
Love it.
You can shower it off now.
Sweet. Is that everything, Edward? Is that everything? Hey, you're the man. Take care, all right? Last time Edward was here, I actually cooked up some chicharrones with eggs, bacon, ham. Like I made up a freaking meal.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, no, it was banger.
Bangers and mash.
Absolutely. What?
It's Irish.
What is that?
Bangers and mash.
There's our favorite YouTubers have an album called Bangers and Ass.
Okay, it's not the same
What?
thing.
TMG. Their first EP is called Bangers and
No,
Ass.
that's a very
I did not know
common
that.
meal in Ireland. And
Bangers
I'm
and
an
mash?
Irish guy.
What is that?
It's actually like these sausages and mashed potatoes, and they call it bangers and mash. Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds hard.
It's
And
delicious.
That sounds pretty delicious.
Yeah.
Would you say it bangs?
Bangs. I was just there like a month ago or a couple months
You went
ago.
to Ireland?
Dude, that's
He goes-
like my 4th time.
Why do you go? Why do you go there so much?
Just love it.
That's cool.
Honestly, love it.
I want
That's
to move.
cool.
I
The
wanna-
people are so nice. Like everybody is so cool. They have some of the best live music you'll ever experience in your life.
That's
Why are you
cool.
rolling your eyes at that?
I'm not rolling my eyes. I'm
You're
just
totally. You're
suspicious.
squinting.
I'm just
what do you think my
suspicious.
motive is?
You want our fans to go to Ireland?
I'm with the Irish Tourism Board. And by the way, we're having a sale this month.
Hashtag ad.
Use discount Jared.
If you go to my website,
Discount Jared. No, that's funny.
$2,500 all inclusive.
That's actually
Bangers and mash.
All you can eat.
Tim and I were trying to go on a gay cruise, all inclusive gay cruise. It was going to cost like $3,300, which is all. What do you think about it? Not all that bad, but it's a lot.
Are you coming out? Like, what is this?
No, dude, hold on. Whoa.
I knew it. I got to text Tim's mom. Hold on.
Did I
Oh, it's better she hears it from me.
She owes me $50. Dude, did I ever tell you about the time my dad was picking me up from school, and I was with should we do our first cut? No, it's fine. I was with one of our friends, and I don't know why or what. There was a reason, but I was doing cartwheels, and there were other people there doing cartwheels, and we were having a contest to see who could do the best cartwheel. I think that was the case.
Okay.
That's when you came out.
No, that's so. Check it out.
He's
I
out
get on
advertising.
one knee. Bust at the promise ring.
I get in my dad's truck and I'm like, ooh, let's go home. And he's like, all right. And we're driving. We hit our first red light or something like that. And nothing significant. My dad's like, son, you know I'm going to love you no matter what. All right? But just so that I could do a better job at raising you, it would help me if I could just get a temperature check from you vis-a-vis cartwheels and wearing pink. And
You do wear like a lot of pink.
yeah, no, I wear flamboyant colors. My whole color scheme is very flamboyant.
Anytime
oftentimes.
there's any normal color, there's a variant that's
Yeah.
neon version of that, and
that's
that's a
what Chris
crisp blue.
Yeah.
That's
I
a
can see
crisp
that.
pink.
Absolutely, and I rock. I do think I rock it,
Dude, I've known you're gay since I first met you.
So that's the thing that my dad.
Hey, you know my daughter's gay. I mean, it's
that's
all
true.
good.
Yeah, you bet.
I mean, geez. Come out.
I was just
I'm going to challenge you right now. Just go ahead and come out.
All right, folks.
pressure.
I know. I'm like, how do I dodge this?
Nightmare.
How do I ethically?
You know
dodge
what?
this?
No,
no dodging,
It needs to
Chris.
be on his time.
I know.
This is not cool.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and let it go.
There's a hair in the mic. Sorry.
I told you. I told you. You get
uncomfortable
hairy
as possible.
everywhere. It's probably one of your guys' hairs that fell out. It's
Dude,
starting.
My hair's long. This is the longest my hair's ever
starting.
been.
So the I believe a lot of the genetics come from the mom side for
does.
boys.
Oh, that's what it is, yeah.
Yeah. So my grandpa is thinning. So
Yeah.
he's got not even thinning. He's pretty much bald.
My mom's dad.
He's hanging on to
My
them.
mom's dad died, and he was like 27. So no
Oh,
one
jeez.
knows. No one knows.
Wow.
I know. Wait, I know that there's a long story where it's like it's actually not that sad of a story, so that's why I feel like I wanted to. I
almost seemed happy about
I wanted
it,
to like
yeah.
make a really bad joke, but like no one understands the context, so I don't want to seem like a bad person. We good, Queen, but so yeah, my dad was just like, son, I just need a temperature check to see, I'm gonna love you no matter what, and I literally just had to be like, Dad,
How old are you?
13.
13.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a
Well,
Daryl
but-
Wilson
yeah.
moment. That's literally.
Well, I mean, and nowadays, like, my 11-year-old stepsister, or now she's not 11 now, but when she was like, she's like, oh yeah, I have 10 bi classmates. I have. I know.
Honestly, it's such a a better situation now. Like when I was in high school,
I
had one of my very best friends, Brant. I mean, it was obvious he was gay, but back then, like nobody knew. I mean, and literally I had to defend him several times. I got in like actual fist fights with people that were picking on him.
Wow. Good for you.
Because he was a great dude, but they were like, they'd call him names and stuff. Yeah. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
What names?
But knew this a trick.
That's a really good segue.
Welcome to your tape, Jared.
Yeah. Oh no.
But it's a horrible thing because he had a really, really rough time. So nowadays, or my gosh, if I can just picture even like my parents or my buddy's parents, like another one of my buddies, his parents thought he might be gay, kind of like you. He was kind of effeminate. No, but I remember his dad went to my dad and was like, I don't know what to do. I think he might be gay.
Oh, wow.
And it's like, but he was acting like he might be a
criminal
or something.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's absolutely insane.
We should talk to some of our other older guests and see, because so my one of my favorite
older guests. Fuck you. Some of your other older guests.
Well,
hey, I got to go back to the homestead. Actually,
okay.
The early bird starts in about 15 minutes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh, it's almost 4:30. It's almost supper time.
I hope discount is almost over for AARP members.
I'd be pissed if I missed that special.
What the fuck was I saying?
You're talking about older guests.
Oh yeah. I want to talk to them because my favorite professor ever. I won't say his name, but absolute legend. And he had almost no social circles growing up because he grew up during like the social justice movement, or not social justice.
The what?
The Martin Luther King
civil rights movement. Good Lord, you fucking spaced on that.
Screw you. Okay, fuck you guys.
It's like, suffrage. When people were suffering.
Yeah, during that era. Because everyone's fine now.
Do you want to end women's suffrage? And it's like, yeah, I don't want them to suffer.
Yeah, I'll give you a dime.
I still think about 80% of people won't know what you're saying if you say that. But I have a low view. I have a low view of society.
Yeah, ditto. But he didn't really have a social circle during that because he was like 16 during the peak of the civil rights movement, and his best friends were all black, and he wasn't allowed to go into stores, he wasn't allowed to eat at restaurants, and whenever his friends wouldn't let him in, he was white. My professor was white, so the restaurant wouldn't let his friends in. He's like, well, fuck you guys, and I'm leaving too.
Crazy.
My great grandma, there was an African American woman who lived on her.
I want to get him on.
Who lived in the same neighborhood as her, and she really liked her. You know, like Go-Go.
Nothing special to
her. We call her Go-Go. She would go and talk to her.
She's a go-kart.
Yeah.
I got it.
Because she goes 45 miles in one fucking
40
week
miles,
walking.
45 miles a week.
She's
how many miles does she get? Like, what's her range?
Yeah,
she's a hybrid.
7 miles to the Pop-Tart.
Nice.
Yeah, she would go up and talk to this lady, and the lady would be like, "Hey, for your sake, like I really care about you. You're a sweet girl. Don't talk to me anymore. Like I really this is for your safety."
It's so sad.
That's so
sucks.
sad.
That sucks.
It blows my mind that people just grew up in an era like that.
But you know what? People kind of suck in general. So I grew up. No, I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I grew up in a Hispanic neighborhood. It's a weird experience I had. I was the only little white kid.
It was Hispanic?
100%. Yeah.
On paper?
in reality,
Jared put on the shades of Miami Vice.
But it was funny. It was funny because I was treated like crap. Real.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And I don't know. I just thought that's how it was.
Yeah,
you know, I'm like
all my Mexican friends.
I was the outcast.
So, I got called bolillo growing up, which is just bread. But my family.
If you're different, you're screwed.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, which is
Hispanics will take your biggest insecurity and make it your nickname.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, love handles. What's happening, eh? Hey, bald spot. You're looking good, eh? Good to see you, man.
That's not bad.
We called
my Spanish accent.
Yeah,
my physics. My physics teacher. He happened to be bald, but he was like in his 30s or whatever. They called him Mr. Pelona.
What does that mean?
That means bald, but like effeminate. The feminine.
Right.
Like.
Do either you actually speak Spanish?
No,
I'm
don't.
comfortable.
All right.
So I sound like a jackass.
Do you know what chupa mi verga means?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Of course.
Yeah. So my company.
Mr. Worldwide, Jared.
I had a partner that was real hardcore Mormon guy. Okay, real hardcore.
Wait, you have to specify the definition of partner because it means something different now.
Business.
Okay, good.
Real estate company.
Okay.
Jared, are you coming out of this podcast?
No. But I had a guy that worked for me that was fluent, and he thought he was trying to teach me Spanish, and he thought it was funny.
Yeah.
So he's like, hey, when you talk to Mike, just say chupa mi verga. And I'm like, why? And he's like, oh, it's just like a greeting.
Yeah, it's like salutations.
So I said it, and the guy literally almost passed out. He's like, why would you say something like that? Yeah. And I'm like, what did I do? And he's like, why would you say that? And I'm like, what? And he's like, you basically said to suck my wiener. And I was like, what? I'm like, dude, I'm so sorry.
He whispered, no.
And he whispered the wiener part. Like, he was really, really upset, but I had no idea. I really was like, I'm going to fire this guy. It's crazy.
Well, you could have given me a billion guesses as to what he was about to say next, and wiener would have never crossed
wiener
my mind.
is almost more offensive to me. Like, it's kind of, I don't know, it makes me uncomfortable.
Especially in a business atmosphere.
We're in our 30s at that point too. I mean, we're not like kids. We were both like grown men with children. And he was like, yeah,
he has kids and he's afraid to say.
The partnership dissolved shortly thereafter. So.
Wiener. That's so funny. You know what's fucked up, Jared, is that there are so many moments in my life where a certain word comes across my day-to-day life and it just sticks with me, Cataclysmically is one of them. Like, I say cataclysmically 8 times a day for no reason.
Really? That's a big word.
I could tell by the way I'm so chuffed right now that I'm going to start saying wiener so much more frequently. And that I am just devastated. Wiener.
God. It's just one of those words.
Yeah. Whispering wiener is
thinking of a grown man.
Yeah. If you could just saw like the look in his face too. I mean, it was like
he probably was mortified.
I guarantee he prayed about it.
Wow.
And probably repented. Yes.
Queen.
So.
I had, yeah,
and I'm the one that said it. So.
Oh, I know, right?
Yeah.
So you're both going to hell now.
Yeah. Well,
I think it's funny that the Mormon Church
has
stock in. Well, no, I think it's
we're
funny
not supposed to talk religion or politics.
Well, no, I was saying they just have a lot of stock in Coca-Cola.
Table.
It's like financial. They have a lot of stock in Coca-Cola.
Oh.
But like caffeine is one thing that they don't really advocate for.
Oh, interesting.
They actually have a lot of stock in a company that owns Tinder and Match, which I find really, really funny. It's through a third party, but they actually own I'm talking millions, and I mean they're worth billions and billions. But it's
I did not know that.
Yep.
I went to a Mormon church one time.
I have no problem with it. I'm just saying it's interesting.
No, it actually is. That's something to think about.
I could tell you're really angry about it, but no, it's okay. But no,
I'm Jewish. Whatever.
Are you?
No.
L'chaim.
Hey, leave him shalom.
Literally, oy vey is all I know. Okay.
What is that?
It's
an
more
expression
like,
of like.
yeah.
Orale, we.
Anyways,
but yeah. Okay, so hey, simmer down. We got the real good stuff coming on. The reason why we had Jared on to begin with, which I don't even. You couldn't tell me what we've talked about this episode aside from wiener.
I prefer a loose format.
Yeah. Yes. Of course.
Because nobody's going to care about this other stuff.
Are you serious?
No, I mean, we'll go through it, but it's all right. Go ahead.
I really no. Like one thing I will say is like we value the knowledge that you have, but more the person that you are, and that's something that we internalize with like all of our guests, right?
Yeah.
So Chris feels different, but
Marcos for sure.
Me personally, no. I think it's interesting when people approach us and say like, "Oh, it was really interesting that you had a teacher on." I don't often hear about who's the person behind the the job
cool.
or anything like that.
All right.
No, like there is value to the knowledge that you hold and what you bring, and I'm glad that you're here. And genuinely.
Well, the other reason though is that I'm glad we're doing this last because now we know who you are and the type of guy you are, and you're just a silly.
So now they're ready to take my advice.
Yeah. Well, no, that's a real thing. That's a real thing. It's not called recency bias. It's something else. It's like.
Rapport.
No, it has the word bias in it where it's like
wiener.
Yeah, wiener bias. I think that's it. Wiener bias for the folks at home. So it's literally like you have a little bit more confidence or you just more credibility just by
there's just a comfort level that's achieved.
Exactly.
It's just not somebody up there.
That's why because
I get it.
And if we had the top real estate broker at like the biggest branch on this podcast right now, I think it'd be like. And we didn't know who he was, and we just asked him right out the gate, like, how do you buy a house?
Nobody cares.
I think it'd be a cut and dry, but maybe he'd be giving an answer that like you're just supposed to say. But
I'm sure it would be technically correct, but it'd be
exactly.
boring
But I think you're going to tell us like everyone tells you to do this, but what you should really do is this. That's what we want to hear.
Absolutely.
So with that being said, what does a house appraiser actually do?
Well, I mean, in a nutshell, the whole job is basically to just verify the value of an asset for a loan.
Okay.
That's it. I mean, it's very, and I do both. I'm also a broker, but I own an appraisal company, and that's where I spend most of my time. So yeah, all you're doing is going out, you're looking at the property, and you're verifying that the lender is safe.
Okay.
If it gets foreclosed on, and that's what I tell people. The harsh truth is, I'm there for the worst case scenario that the house gets foreclosed on, and the bank has lent you money. They want to know that they can sell it and get their money back.
Absolutely.
It's as simple as that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I know that when my dad's house was getting appraised, something that we got ding dong.
Yeah. Ding dong.
Ding dong.
Bing bong.
He ditched you.
Yeah.
Didn't answer fast enough.
The appraiser wasn't actually there. But no, something that we got dinged on was 2 of the faucets were leaking.
Okay, that's crazy.
What are criteria?
Well, I mean, that's something that honestly, that's something an appraiser shouldn't even get involved in. We're not home inspectors.
Okay.
And you might be getting the two confused. Often people do.
Okay. And that's
because was this for like a refi or for a purchase? Was this a sale or was this when he was just refinancing?
No,
okay.
Sale.
So it was a sale. Okay, so you're getting it confused with the home inspector, which is very typical. They come out and they go through it with a fine tooth comb. They're there for 5 or 6 hours, and they'll
he was
they'll
there for a while.
they'll find every little thing like that. The
chipped baseboards.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
For the appraiser, we're there for maybe 30 minutes max.
Gotcha.
Wow.
Which is like counting rooms.
We're verifying the square footage. We're taking pictures. We're noticing like the overall condition, upgrades, like how nice it is.
That's cool.
Okay.
And most of our work is done at the desk. Like it's the inspection's a really, really easy part. So we wouldn't even know or care if you have a leaky faucet. It doesn't have any, because think about it. I mean, how much impact does that really have on the value of the home?
None.
Yeah. So we don't care.
That's really cool.
I mean, we're looking
interesting.
If there's like safety issues, or I mean, if the roof is caving in, obviously
termite
we
mud
care.
walls.
Yeah, stuff like that. But I don't care about little cosmetic stuff.
It's
like
an
that,
antique.
So, yeah. So
okay. So I have $10,000.
Okay.
And my lease is up in 25 days in this place right here.
Is this a hypothetical? Or you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I don't have $10,000.
Okay.
I want to buy a house tomorrow, and my credit score is fair. Not good, but it's fair.
I need to know more than fair. Like
650
score. Ooh.
I mean,
that's fair.
It's okay. I mean, honestly, you can get an FHA loan with a 650 credit score.
Okay.
And a first-time home buyer with $10,000, that's what you're going to do is get an FHA loan.
FHA.
The higher, I've had this conversation with many a first-time home buyer.
Okay.
I mean, generally speaking,
what's the difference?
Well, I mean, as far as being a first time, there's no difference really in the lending practice other than you don't know, and you need a little advice to make sure you go in a good situation.
Gotcha.
You know, I tell everybody the same thing: like save money. The more money you have, the better.
Of course.
Work on getting that credit score up.
Yeah.
I mean, because you'll qualify for a loan at that, but if you can get it up, every 20, 30 points you get it up, your interest rate is going to be that much lower.
Okay.
And that can make a huge difference. Like good example is what's going on right now. Like 3 months ago, you could get like a 3% mortgage. Okay.
Wow.
Now you're looking at like 6%. And even though you're like, 3 to 6%, well, that's like double the payment. I mean, it makes a huge impact on your payment, So make sure you get the credit score, make sure you save as much money. And the first person you want to talk to is not even a realtor or anybody else. Talk to like a loan officer.
Okay.
And just get pre-approved.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, how much do you need? So
if
I want to buy a $300,000 house, how much do I need to get pre-approved for?
Well, I mean, you're going to want there's different ways to structure it, but I mean, you're going to want at least like, I'd say 3 to 4%.
Down 3 to 4% down for
that's it?
Yeah. I mean,
well, yeah, if you're going FHA, because you can get, and the market's shifted a little bit.
What's
now,
FHA stand for? Sorry.
Federal Housing Administration. It's a government-backed loan, and it's easier because if you go out and get like conventional financing, generally speaking, it's like, well, there's 5% down programs, but the less down, the higher your interest rate is.
Yeah.
Okay. But FHA, it's pretty much a standard rate. It's a little bit down, and there's ways that you can get creative to minimize how much money out of your pocket. Like you can get, the seller to maybe contribute a little bit and adjust the price up. There's ways you can get creative. You just want to make sure you're dealing with an agent that knows what they're doing and get a good loan officer.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that I
told
have,
you it's boring stuff, but
this
it's stuff you need to know though, because I'll tell you what.
This is important.
The number one way
the
number one way of building wealth is through real estate.
Absolutely,
I started buying real estate when I was like 20.
Yeah.
And at my late 20s, I was worth a considerable amount of money because I bought real estate.
Absolutely.
I didn't go to college, didn't know anything about that.
You didn't go to you don't have a degree?
No, nothing.
Wow.
My parents were really, really poor. And it was never even discussed in my house.
Wow.
Like, I had no idea. None. I
did not
luckily
know that.
I got into real estate and I have a slightly better than average IQ, and I was like, okay, I'm good at this, so I just started
a little bit of common sense.
So I just started,
a little bit.
I got into real estate.
That's outstanding.
Yeah.
One of the first things I kind of remember you telling me, or like one memory that sticks in particular, is like you were talking to all of us. We were just asking you questions, just random stuff, and you were like, if you can get approved, go for it. Like,
absolutely.
And start. Yeah. And that was one thing. I really remember. That was years ago.
It was, but you know what?
It's been a while.
Because I know people that are like, oh, I just rather rent. I don't want to get in. And
that's so dumb.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
you're
really
paying
dumb.
somebody's mortgage.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
not yours.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was your guys' age, what I would do is I'd save up and I'd go out and buy like a fourplex or a duplex.
Okay.
You know what those are?
Which
obviously.
isn't this?
No, these are condos. But I'm talking
okay.
like a little individual building where there's like either there are 2, 3, or 4 units all attached. They're usually not super fancy, but they qualify for an FHA loan, which means you can buy one and get into it for very little out of your pocket, and then you can, like, if you get a fourplex, you can rent the other 3 units out,
and then live in yours, and
you'll be making a profit on it, and live in yours for free. Now, if once you want to upgrade, that's fine. You can move out of it and go buy something else, but it's a great investment. And they cash flow.
Okay, so okay. Are you willing to acknowledge that is actually difficult to do though? Like in terms of
really not.
Well, you don't think so? Like with the way things are right now, like because it's hard to save money as is right now, for young people.
I don't know. I mean, everybody said that since the dawn of time.
That's true too.
I mean,
That's true. That's true.
Honestly,
I agree with that.
I don't think it's any harder now than it used to. I think it's easier now.
You think so?
I really do.
Yeah.
Like
do you
I
feel
don't
like there's more programs instilled.
there are so many programs.
Okay,
and
that's like when I hear people like, I can't find a job. I'm like, everybody's hiring. Literally, you can find a job.
Yes, and no. We've talked about it before.
Well, there's types of jobs, and I get that. But
Yeah,
you know
that's
what?
good.
But
that's good.
Then if you don't like that job, go get a better job.
Yeah.
Or
even if it's not better paying, at least one you like more. Yeah.
and then work your way up.
Yeah,
sure.
I'm in a job that I actually really like. I definitely think I'm in tech repair.
Okay, and you enjoy it. It's huge.
I really love what I do. It's cool, and especially it's part of the team that I also have.
Yeah.
And I know that that's a very fickle thing.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to search for more things. I'm trying to just find happiness in what I have because the job pays well. I like my hours. My schedule is set.
Yeah.
It's like I like the people that I work with. And so now it's just about creating additional happiness on top of that.
Yeah.
There you go.
I just had you'll actually be a really good person to tell this to in terms of entertainment value / I want to hear what you'd say about this.
All right.
So can you tell me, like, when you think of Gen Z and like the job market flaw, can you tell me like the first thing that you think of, like why is Gen Z a bad generation of workers? You know what?
It's a very complicated question, quite honestly.
Yeah. So
and this is where it kind of comes back to me. Social media is one of the greatest things and one of the worst things to ever happen, because whatever your opinion, your gripe, your bitch, whatever it is, you're going to find an audience that agrees with you.
Right.
And then it builds on itself. And it's not necessarily a good thing. Now, I know that there's problems. I mean, 100%.
Yeah.
But just has been my experience.
Yeah.
I've got kids of all those ages.
Yeah.
And they get on, and it seems like you can get on there and be like, oh, woe is me. This is really difficult. And you're going to find a whole audience of people that agree with you. And
even if it's the most hyper-specific issue.
And we're all human, and that's going to have an effect on your mindset.
Interesting.
But I know most of the people that I know that are the most successful, and a lot of them grew up pretty dang poor. One of my best friends I grew up with were like brothers, multi-millionaire. You know what? He had no advantages whatsoever, whatsoever. Yeah. But he just went out and made it happen.
That's really fun.
He just went out and started up a little business. He tried several of them. He kept going, and eventually he found something that worked. But he worked his ass off.
That's good.
American dream.
But honestly, to a lesser extent, that's me. I mean, I found something I was good at.
Exactly.
And I'm self-employed, but I put in my 60 hours a week. Now, if I want to go to Ireland, I go. If I want to take time off, I go. But the price is I work really, really, really hard.
Work hard, play hard.
In the meantime, and I don't have a safety net. You know?
Yeah, that's true too.
Interesting.
I don't know if that answers your question.
Do you pay a lot of taxes?
Ridiculous
Yeah.
taxes.
Okay.
Insane. That's a whole nother issue.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother conversation we could have. Like the whole thing about like
Off air.
the rich not paying their fair share.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
You think so?
Well, you can look it up.
That's Chris's
that's-
favorite
You
topic.
literally
That's
can,
Chris's.
but it's
For, like,
it's
Jeff
not,
Bezos, yeah.
and I don't care about any of the political stuff to it.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, the top 10% of earners already pay about 90% of federal income tax. You can look it up. It's easy.
Say that again.
The top 10% of earners, so all the evil rich people,
Yeah.
pay 90% of federal income taxes. These are round numbers, but very, very close.
Wow.
Look it up. There's actually, I can't remember the name of it offhand, but they actually track all of that stuff for the government and for the IRS.
Interesting.
Like this.
And,
is it-
and it's not a partisan thing at all.
okay, that's what I was about to
No,
ask. Yeah.
no, I know that. I mean, I know that, you know, but
Yeah.
but it is crazy because I mean, I've had conversations with several people about this.
We've
I'm
had
like,
that conversation on this podcast before.
I'm
Yeah.
sure you have.
Eat the rich.
which
Yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah,
I really do. Like
I get what you mean.
I
yeah.
worked at a company for a while. I kept my company, but I worked for a wealth development company. It's called. I won't say what the name is, but
okay,
anyways,
cool.
but my job was I dealt with very, very wealthy people, and I
Yeah,
can say
okay.
this through my experience. I've been poor. I've been on the other side,
Mm-hmm.
and those really, really evil rich people were the kindest, most philanthropic people that
Wow.
paid their taxes and worked hard. So that's why I kind of get a little chip on my shoulder
Yeah.
when I have people say like they don't care, and I'm like. That's like what
Okay.
you see in like movies and TV.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
absolutely.
evil rich person driving
Yeah.
around
It's
in
just
their
a
fancy
generalization.
car.
So-
But I'm
based
like,
off of-
I grew up in a poor neighborhood, and everybody was getting ripped off by all the other poor people.
Yeah. Interesting.
I'm not saying they're bad.
Yeah.
I'm just
Come a
saying
little closer
it's a
real quick.
different.
Yeah.
You know, it's a different thing.
so tell me what you think about this.
Yeah.
In America, capitalism, as of October 5th tomorrow, if I wrote this into federal law,
Yeah.
once your bank account hits 999,999,000, all the way, 99999, every dollar after one becoming a billionaire goes to something else.
Totally disagree.
You think that's bad?
I think it's bad.
I think it's bad too, but you tell me why you
I'll
think
tell you
it's bad.
exactly why. Because you have to be. It's not just that you're rich, but you have to be a steward of your money. Okay.
Okay.
And look at like Bill Gates.
Okay.
Okay. He's donated the vast majority of his wealth.
He has multiple scholarships.
Oh,
Like,
not even that. I mean, he's actually vowed to basically donate all of it, and he set up the Bill Gates Foundation.
Yeah.
It was the Linda and Bill Gates
PBS.
Foundation because he earned.
Oh, rest in peace.
Because
to the duo.
he earned it,
Yeah.
so he wants to be a steward of it. The very good example of this is look at the lottery. Like another factual thing, the vast majority of lottery winners end up broke.
Yeah. Very.
Yeah.
Even if they
'Cause they
win
don't know
millions.
how
And do you
to-
know why?
yeah.
Because they're like, woo!
Yeah.
I have all
Let's
this
go.
money.
And they just go out and spend it, and
Yeah.
they just
Yeah.
and they blow it, and they don't have
So-
any appreciation of it.
Okay.
So I don't think that billionaires or whatever are now. Is there going to be some bad ones? Of course, but
Yeah.
there's also a lot
Yeah.
of bad poor people. There's, I
Well,
mean, there's bad people of all types.
Well, that's something that I've always said is that even if you make 140 grand a year, which is a lot, which
That is a lot of money.
which is comfortable.
2%
If you make
of-
140 grand a year, I'm willing to bet that a majority of people that make 140, 150 a year, they did that unethically. I think that a lot of people. No, you don't think some of them?
no,
You don't think so?
because the-
almost some of them, but some of them that make
Well-
$30,000 at the Gap only
Yeah.
work 2 hours out of an 8-hour shift.
Well, So
I mean,
my point being that so you talk about the 28 billionaires or something. I think it's like 80 billionaires that we have in the States.
yeah.
If one or two of them got there unethically, fine. But I don't know.
But
the
how
right
do we
answer.
police that?
Exactly.
I
I don't
mean,
know.
there's
We don't know
also,
the right
what is
answer.
objectively?
There's
what
no way
is-
to police it. And
in
here's
that context.
And here's the other thing.
Yeah.
No one is poor because they're rich.
No,
That's what drives me nuts. People act like there's this finite pot of money.
Okay.
And those billionaires are keeping all the money. That has no bearing on you
So what
whatsoever.
do you think? What do you think about some sort of trickle down economics where if 5 billionaires took
Yeah.
a decimal point of their monthly earning
Yeah.
and put it towards a government fund,
They already do.
do they?
Because, dude, you know the
Taxes.
taxes they pay?
Oh,
Elon Musk last year paid the most taxes that any human being has ever paid in 1 year.
29 million.
No, that's such bullshit too. Here's the thing. This is what irritates me because this is the other thing that I've had this conversation with some of my friends. They're like, these corporations pay no money. And I'm like, okay, first of all, they do. Second of
Yeah.
all, I have a corporation, and here's what corporations do. You get taxed twice if you're a corporation because
Yeah.
if you're a shareholder, if you're an employee, you get taxed. And if you're like up high, you're getting taxed big time. So what they try to do is they don't want to show a huge profit because then they're going to get that hit really, really, really hard. So corporations absolutely pay taxes, not to mention they employ everybody. They're providing jobs. They're providing. I mean, who do people work for? Corporations. Yeah. So I mean, that whole concept of like the big evil corporations aren't paying their fair share, and I'm like, it's such a, you know what? We can adjust things. I mean, I'm sure that we could make it to where corporations pay even more. Yeah, that's fine, but that's a very slippery slope because if it goes too far,
when does it stop?
Guess what happens? It goes somewhere else. Yeah, because they're smart and they know that that the majority of that money that they're paying is wasted on bullshit anyways.
So that's one thing that I will say too, where it's like, never mind. Okay, that's cool.
I mean, since
because I don't want to make it political, and it's not a political topic, I don't think at all. But
it's not, because honestly, both sides,
it's everyone's fault. It's everyone's fault.
Here's how I look at it. Like, if you go to the extreme of either party, they're equally stupid. That's what I believe. They really are.
Yeah.
That's just my personal opinion. Yeah. You know, and most of these politicians, if they could further their career by jumping to the other side of the aisle, they would.
You think so?
I think a lot of them would. Maybe not like Bernie Sanders. I mean, whatever. You know, but I mean, most of them, it's a business, and they're in it to further their own career. I'm not saying that they don't have good intentions. Yeah. But you know, we've gotten to a point right now where both parties think the other party is so bad and evil that it's crazy. Yeah. Because they can't get anything done. Yeah. And neither party is all that bad or evil. There are individuals that suck. Okay, we all acknowledge that.
Well, you know, I'll out myself right here on the podcast and just say, like, there was a gas bill that was proposed when gas was starting to get like ridiculously high. Yeah. And almost every Republican shot it down.
Well, and but was that for the reserve to be? Was that?
Yes.
But but that's ridiculous too.
So hold on. So that's kind of my point, where it's like Twitter had a field day. 284 Republicans all shot down this amazing bill, and it's like, but I read the bill, and I strongly did. And I'll make that argument too. I'm a little bit more informed politically. I go out of my way to make sure that I at least know what's going on with the big stuff. But you know, like, I don't know why our slides at the park are painted a certain color. You know, I don't get that. You know, like certain organizations get upset with that. They're like, why are they painted blue or black? Because they hold more heat. And it's like, well, we have certain contracts with certain park manufacturers that paint their slides that color. It's like shit. Like, I don't care about that. I know that. I don't care about that.
Literally nobody cares about that.
Exactly. But what I'm saying is, I read the bill that everyone was really upset about in regards to, you know, the gas not hitting the Federal Reserve or just other things like that, where it's like, that's a bad thing. It sounds bad when you just post like the headline with 284 Republicans.
That's the point of media, though. It's to skew perceptions by posting it's basically clickbait.
It's ridiculous. Well, even look at right now. So we're almost to the midterms, and you see these ads, and if it wasn't so annoying, it'd be hysterical, because they'll show whatever. I don't care what party. They'll show the opponent, and they'll show them in like weird lighting with like a maniacal look on their face.
I'll throw Blake Masters under the bus.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's horrible. Yeah, and I'm more of a conservative dude. Yeah. You know. Central on most things, but I mean, at the end of the day, especially fiscally,
that's what I am. Yeah, that's, I'll out myself again and say exactly what you just said.
Yeah, exactly.
When it comes to money, I find myself being a little bit more.
Look, I'm truly an independent, because I'm a capitalist, but I'm also an atheist. So I got no party. I believe in science. I don't believe in discrimination, but I also think that like I'm a freaking. I'm all about free enterprise.
You're gonna get your own heaven. I can tell.
I hope so, because otherwise I'm screwed. but those commercials but it's a perfect example of how easily manipulated everybody is, because they'll be like, this guy believes and he wants to like kill your babies and blah 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 blah, and like, and this person wants to legalize like hand grenades, and it's just it is so dumb. Like, it's all just whatever.
Hand grenades?
They should not.
Hey, I'm a Second Amendment guy, all right.
Chris for hand grenades. 2023.
I wear tank tops. I'm more than justify myself in right to bear arms.
There you go. Hey,
that was a joke. Sorry.
But anyways, back to what we're even talking about, the
corporations.
But no, like that gas thing. Like the way they spun it was so ridiculous. And meanwhile, if they released all of those reserves, it would make like not even a drop of difference. No, because you have to look at the big picture. You have to look at the picture of like, okay, how many gallons do we use a day? Exactly. So we're going to deplete our reserves to make up for like a third of a day's difference in gas.
We would have saved like 13 cents a gallon.
It would do nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, and then they're going to have to replenish those reserves anyways.
Yeah,
but
so
again, both sides do that stuff.
If you read the bill and you know what the bill is actually talking about, you kind of know what we're talking about a bit. But if not, and you saw that on Twitter and you're just like these damn Republicans, and I could say the same thing for the other side too, of someone I like to think that we're all relatively neutral, but
I think most people want what's best.
Yeah.
You know, but
it's like instead of people viewing things as people need to stop viewing things as political issues and just as it's a people issue. It's a people issue. It's bipartisan.
I know, but the problem is everybody's so entrenched now.
Yeah,
like,
so we
that's
said
lost.
that with the politician that we had on the podcast. That's something we said. It's not a political issue. It's a people issue.
Yeah, nobody cares though.
Exactly, which sucks.
Well, because that doesn't further their career.
No,
I mean that doesn't do them any good.
So we
political opinions are also swayed by like socioeconomic status and the people that you're around.
Exactly.
Like, inherently, the people that you surround yourself with
are
going to change your.
Well, there's a saying that says if you're young and Republican, you have no heart, and if you're old and a Democrat, you have no money. I'm not saying I agree with that, but that's an old saying that's been around forever, and I'm like, it's not a universal truth, but it's kind of funny.
It's not a one size fits all, most definitely, but it is.
There is partial truth to the saying.
So I'll be a little bit selfish. I'll be selfish really quickly. Do you think I would do good in public office?
I have to. You know what? Sue and I have had this conversation about you.
About me?
Yeah, and I would not BS you on this. There's a couple of people I know. You're one of them.
Yeah. Wow.
Did you ever know Ryan at TC's?
Yep.
Okay, that guy's a politician.
Yeah.
I mean,
he is now?
I mean, no, but he could be.
Oh, he could be.
He could be because I love the guy. He's a great guy, but he's so personable.
Yeah,
talks to everybody, and you do the same thing.
So I like.
We've literally had the conversation about you that you're a politician.
I'm flattered. Thank you.
Yeah. I don't know if I vote for you, but I mean, you're a politician.
Yeah.
So I'd like to think I'd be a halfway decent politician. Oh gosh darn it! My point that I was trying to make earlier about the Gen Z working issue.
Yeah,
that's my fault. I'm the exact big issue. Like me and guys like me, where the second I'm unhappy with a job, I quit. The second the money's not exactly what I want, I quit.
But see, that's where it is a little unfair for Gen Z because I think about it. That's kind of how it's always been.
Yes, and
you know how many like jobs I went through when I was like in my teens.
I didn't know that.
I worked at the Native New Yorker as a cook. Like I
just for a couple days or some shit.
No, that one lasted like. First of all, I was 14 and I was a cook.
Good Lord.
Till 2 a.m.
That would not fly.
Isn't there some sort of like child labor laws?
No, that's probably
yeah. Times are different. I'm a parent in the 80s. I don't care.
We could have a whole podcast about that experience, but we'll not do that now. But you know, what are you supposed to do? Be miserable?
So here's what happened: is that my last job that I just quit. Since I don't work there anymore, it was the Nike store. Okay. Nike is a giant corporation. But the people that I worked there, I adored. I loved almost every single one of them. Good people, good families, just good people.
Yeah.
And I wasn't happy with the money. So a couple people, and I put my 10 days in and I was like, hey, you guys, I can't keep doing this. I'm sorry. No big deal. But I just a conversation. That's all it was. It was just a conversation. And a couple people were like, you think it's fair to give a company that you've been working for 3 weeks an ultimatum and say, pay me more or I'm gone?
Yeah, that's a little...
And it's a little fucked up. But
negotiate that when you're going into it.
Exactly. So you're right in the sense that I would have that argument if it were like a mom and pop shop. But for Nike,
but this is also an entry level job. Like there's truth to that.
You're right. I have to agree. Well, it's like I saw this thing where people were picketing outside of McDonald's that worked there.
Yeah.
And they actually were like, we're going to dictate what you pay us, and you're going to pay us $35. It was it's crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's an economy of scale like for these businesses. I mean, and they can't do that. They'll be out of business, and then nobody has a job. These were not meant to be.
The branches won't thrive.
These were meant to be part-time, first-time jobs or supplemental income and things like that.
So that's the other thing I wanted to mention with that, where I got told, they're like, "Oh, are you sure you want to quit? I know that the money's not that great." They told me they're like, "Hey, we're sorry that the money's not that great."
Yeah.
Also, you're so charismatic. You're so good at getting surveys. You're really good at this. And I didn't feel like an asshole when I said this. I do now. When I said it at the time, I didn't feel bad, but I kind of do now. And all I said was, yeah, you have to buy that. You have to purchase that with money.
See, but that's where you should be more of like a commission type of situation.
Yeah. And then he tried commission.
Not saying you have to be.
How did that go?
You have to be rich.
That's not fair.
But what kind of commission? Like what kind of commission job did you have?
Oh, right now, what I'm doing, I sell boxes.
You sell boxes.
I sell boxes.
All right. Is it a decent commission structure?
Yes. Oh no. Well, okay. So check it out. I'll tell everyone what I make right now. Base salary.
Yeah.
0. Okay. I get no base salary.
Okay.
I get 30% commission on profit.
Okay.
So for our audience, if I sell you, so I bought this can for $7. I sold this can for $10. So I made $3. I get 30% of that. I get $1. So, you know.
So you got to operate on volume, obviously.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but you know, and you know, the packaging industry is what I find myself in. A shit ton of old ass. You know, I'm not making it a big thing, but every single guy that I sell to is an old ass white guy.
Yeah.
And I've been doing this for 40 years. I've been doing this for 60 years. I've been doing this for 28 years. It's like, fuck, dude. You wonder why this industry's dying out and Amazon's taking over everything. It's because, I say this as a joke. I said this to one of our more recent guests, and she laughed her ass off when I said, I sell to only old ass white guys, and no joke, all of them hate their wives.
Really?
All of them hate their
the
wives.
old ball and chain.
Yeah.
Wow.
For real. No joke. Oh, the old ball and chain. Yeah.
I'm an old ass white guy, and my wife's the best.
So that's what I'm saying. We're like, you know, and I'm like, yeah, oh my gosh. Yeah, my girlfriend, she doesn't really like skydivers, stuff like that. She's not a big adrenaline junkie. I am. Like, oh, your girlfriend, you're how old? 21? That's cool. Oh, I've been married 34 years. God, I hate her.
Then why be there? That's what I've never understood.
So
Cheaper to keep her. That's what they'll follow it up with.
Sell to him.
Yeah.
Sell,
that's
go.
tough.
Go ahead.
Sell to that guy. Go for it.
Talk like him.
So that's what I'm saying. No, I tried that, but
So
now if like
change yourself.
I find myself being a bad person. I'm like, shit.
Okay,
dude.
well then maybe you have to play that up.
You're right. You're right. I could succeed.
Do you want to work in the box industry
No,
for the
not
next
at all.
20 years?
No.
Okay, so
then don't
follow
do it.
the same
So-
logic.
so
yeah,
exact-
follow your same logic.
Oh,
Get out. You're just
The
like
money's not
him.
there.
Huh.
The boxes are your old lady. You hate them.
So that's really funny. I actually did mean to say this at the top of the episode. I did just get a dummy sick job offer. I hope you guys don't see this, by the way.
And I want to see. No. Now I'm gonna put another thing on this. Ready?
Hit me.
How many episodes is it going to take before Chris finds another job? We determined that Nike was approximately. Is
there an over-under on this?
There could be.
Over
We could
under,
absolutely.
over under 5. I say over 5.
Over 5 episodes?
Yeah.
Over
Okay.
five?
I think it's
You're
6 or
fucked.
7.
Yeah, you're fucked. I'm going to be at this job for the rest of my life, hopefully. But
Hopefully. Why would you say hopefully?
oh no, this other job. I got it. So that's what I was
okay.
saying. At
All
the,
right.
at the
All
top of
right.
the episode, I meant to mention I just got a stupid, amazing job opportunity. I told Marcos, I forgot to tell you.
Yep.
But you know, and it's exactly what I'm good at, and it's not commission, which you know, cool, but not cool, whatever. But yeah, I kind of wanted to get a vibe, get a bit of a temperature check with you, and you know, vis-a-vis.
I'm a big entrepreneur type of guy.
Good.
Quite honestly. I mean,
It worked out for you?
that's usually my advice to people
Outstanding.
is work for yourself. I know that's very easy to say, and it's not necessarily, you know, that easy to do.
Yeah.
But quality of life,
Gotcha.
way better. And the money, I mean,
Yeah.
you're never, unless you're like an attorney or something or a doctor, you're generally not going to get wealthy working for somebody else.
Yeah.
I mean, the chances are very, very, very slim. But I know quite a few wealthy people that it's maybe not even glamorous. Like I have a guy he's a plumber, but he owns his own plumbing company and he makes
money.
bank.
Good for him. Outstanding.
I've got quite a few people I know that they started from nothing. They built up a company and they.
I strongly believe that like any honest job is a good one, and I heard that from a teacher, and I believe that like
I agree.
You know,
No,
to a T. You know,
there's no shame in any job.
There's no shame
I don't
in any
care
job.
If you,
Well,
I don't care if you
exactly.
clean out septic tanks. Like
Well,
if
yeah.
you're working, I mean seriously,
that's money.
No,
Like-
my dad has been a meat manager at a grocery store for a quarter of a century, and he's the happiest guy in the world.
Yeah.
And I'm happy for him.
This is why I also think, Chris, you beat yourself up a little bit too much. You play the narrative a little bit too much of like
With
hating
me?
yourself for like, oh, I'm that Gen Z guy who finds the job or
yeah.
immediately like other things like that, because Chris's dad, you know, bless
Is
him, he's the polar opposite.
Exactly.
He's literally the juxtaposition
Exactly.
he's the antithesis to Chris in terms of working.
Absolutely.
He has had that same job for how long?
25 years.
Boom,
wow.
right there.
Yeah.
And he's
Quarter
happy.
century.
But he's happy.
He's happy.
See
Yeah.
that
No, he
was
loves
my
it.
dad. I don't think my dad ever made more than $30,000 a year.
Damn.
I mean, which is crazy to me, but
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
he always worked his ass off. He
Calculating for
He
inflation,
wasn't like
yeah, still.
super. Yeah, but I mean, that wasn't even that long ago.
Oh, really?
I mean, no. I mean, we were poor.
Yeah.
But he worked really, really, really hard, and he seemed somewhat satisfied.
That's cool.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So real quick,
I could never be that way, but you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, I hear you.
I love money,
I like,
so, yeah.
and I like big TVs. So
Yeah.
you know, I wanted to tie her up. The point I was trying to make earlier when I asked you if you think I'd be a good politician was someone asked me while I was working at Nike. They were like, I was like, yeah, I would love to run for public office. I think I'd be good at it, and I think I'd make a difference.
What would you run for?
I don't know. I don't care.
Yeah.
Not yet, at least.
Okay.
I
You
need
can
to
start with like city
city council,
City
stuff
council
like
or
that. Yeah.
something.
City council.
And
Parks and Rec or
Yeah,
something.
start Leslie
sure.
No. Boom,
Exactly.
right there.
There you go.
Follow
So
that
then,
path.
one of my coworkers asked me, he's like, "Okay, Chris, so you'd run for city council, sure, something like that. You work your way up, maybe 2 or 3 promotion/vote. You get voted up 2 or 3 times. A corporation reaches out to you, and offers you a check for like, let's just call it 15 million, and you gotta, like, say you're happily married, you got a kid on the way, it's irresponsible of you as a family man to deny that check.
So they're telling you, like,
I didn't know how to answer. So that's why, like, I've said on the podcast before, I think we're going to be the generation to save the world in terms of political atmosphere, because we're not going to be owned by companies.
So you wouldn't take the 15 million?
I like to think I wouldn't.
Well, here's the
It's very easy to take the high road when it's hypothetical.
Absolutely.
Have you ever seen, what's the most amount of money you've ever seen on a table? Physically in front of you?
30 grand in ones.
30 grand in one.
I worked at a strip club though, so that's what. Yeah, 30.
Yeah, that's a little different.
I held it. Yeah,
It
was fucking awesome. I'll say that right now.
It's literally impossible for you to comprehend right now. $15 million, the purchasing power of that to what we make right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it doesn't even change your life; it changes your kids' lives.
Yeah,
it changes generational wealth.
And then some of it's rationalization. But you're like, and think of all the good I could do.
Yeah, man.
Well,
now you just got bought. You just got bought though.
All right, but it depends on who's buying you.
You're right, but like in my head, it's all blackmailing and all this other crap. That's the way I see it right now from my my Gen Z binoculars, where all I see is the bad and the negative. But when you look at it practically, you don't know what you're looking at. So
what are you gonna go looking for though?
So but if I were on the way to building, 8 suplexes of 8
suplexes?
No suplexes 8 so no, if I were gonna build 8 60-story just crazy complexes to house the homeless and fix that issue, but it's going to take money away from whatever,
and you would never fix it with that.
And you're fixing it on a micro scale.
You don't know that because I've done it. I've done it up
You've
here.
built 8 suplexes?
Yeah, I did it.
Suplexes.
Yeah.
So, and then you find out that they just move right back out again.
Yeah. Chris is gonna start a charity. Here's gonna be the foundation. Ready? It's like, would you like to round up 60 cents to help fight kids against diabetes?
Fight kids.
Yeah, fight.
He can beat up like 10 kids easy.
Yeah, help the fight against diabetes.
Beat the shit out of 5 kids.
Yeah, it's like, all right,
take on like 100 babies.
You ever read that where it's like, would you rather fight 8 13-year-olds or 13 8-year-olds?
No, but
which one would you rather do?
Probably the 13 8-year-olds.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Jared. When did you unlock dad strength?
Oh, that's a good question.
What was it the first moment you realized, like,
dude, I'll tell you what, man, that's a real thing. Because when I was in high school, I was actually athletic. I was bigger than my dad.
Okay.
By far way stronger, but he